most important thing that I learnt at school was to keep asking why. Why? Because I know it may sound stupid, but actually it's probably the most fundamental question that you could ever ask yourself. Why would anyone want to engage? Why would anyone care? If you can't think of an answer, you've probably got to start again.
Hi there. The most important thing I learned at this school is that I can do this. We all have creative blocks. Sometimes it's hard to crack a brief, but you've got to persist, and it might be the 3% of all the ideas you have for the good ones. You've got to keep trying, keep coming up with ideas, and you too will get there and crack that brief. You've already got a place at the SCA, so well done, which shows you're talented, and I'm sure you'll realise that, you know, this too is for you.
I'm sorry,
Hello, it's Charlie. I'm talking to you about these questions we've been asked to answer. So, what is the most important thing I learnt at the school? I learnt to trust my gut, and I'd say that if you're not enjoying a project, you should let it go, and if you're not having fun with it, then it's not right. But yeah, that's my answer to question 1.
The most important thing that I've learnt about the school is not to doubt myself, and most importantly not to doubt the talents of others around me. Now, I guess this isn't entirely true because I am a little bit of a worrier. I always have been, but under the pressure that you're in the school, this worry can really manifest itself and turn into obsession, and then just altogether just no energy levels, nothing, just completely unproductive. Because it's kind of made me, the worry has set in of not being able to trust people sometimes, and therefore wanting to do everything myself, not delegating, never saying no to anything because I'm worried about failure, and just running myself into the ground, and ultimately I've made myself ill over it. Now this has royally backfired. Because I have made myself sick and missed deadlines and not produced work to the best of my ability, getting really worried and anxious and obsessive. But the course has taught me, or is teaching me, to be more relaxed and believe and trust in the talents of others around me, see them blossom, see them take on board more responsibility and have energy, and that brings you up, and that brings you and makes you want to be part of the team and not just trying to take it on in yourself, and be a one-man band, because that's just not the right attitude to have. And I've learnt that you're only as good as others around you, and not to underestimate myself, and others.
Bonjour, I'm Jack Mullock, and I don't know what creative role I fall into, but my advice is to use every opportunity you can to sharpen your tools and to see every campaign as a newspaper headline.
Hi, the most important thing that I learned at school was to follow my instincts.
What was the most important thing you learned at the school?
The most important thing I learned at the school was find your own voice. Don't listen to everything that you hear. Don't take every bit of advice as gospel and argue back sometimes.
If I could turn back time, I would spend more time at places like museums, galleries, events, places that will make me see, hear, and explore and do new things that I'm never used to do, and actually put my brain off work. So, I mean, you have to do work, obviously you have to fulfill certain things, but then you have got to try and chill and relax. It really helps. That was something that I kind of lacked when I was in school.
If I could turn back the time, then I would probably put less pressure on the execution of my ideas, and not worry so much about having a fully executed idea before I showed people. A lot of people this year have said that Scamps is fine and they're just looking for a big idea above anything else. So in hindsight, I probably would have gone out to more agencies and made more effort to go and see people and show them my ideas in progress, so they would know who I was, and they'd be able to sort of guide me through it rather than wait until right at the end when I thought everything was spot on, because they really don't care about execution that much.
If I could turn back time, I'd maintain regular contact with the mentors, all the ones I've met since September. They're always happy to hear from you, do it their free times, come into college. Yeah, and I would definitely be more communicative with the mentors.
If you could turn back time, how would you approach your time at the school differently?
Spend more times on the weekend getting some culture and less being hungover, probably.
Looking back at my time at the school, there are a few things I would have done differently when approaching the course. First of all, implementing a strong time management plan which ensures you get the balance between social and work activities right. What with the amount of briefs at the school, sometimes 5, 6 a week, it can be hard to keep on top of all of them. By introducing a time management plan, you're able to get the balance between social and your work stuff out of the way, so you can have a clear, precise diary of what you're doing, maybe even per hour, so you're satisfied with the job you've done at the end of the day.
If I was to do this course again, I would try and make less spelling mistakes.
Second tip is to ask mentors for advice and feedback on your ideas early on in your ideas generation. A problem that I struggled with a few times, keeping an idea to myself and not sharing it with mentors until the last minute, maybe even the day before a deadline. The problem with this is they weren't able to give their advice on my work, and obviously my idea wasn't as strong as it could have been because I wasn't able to act on that advice. So my second tip is to ask for feedback from the mentors as soon as you think you have an idea.
If I could turn back time, I would manage my time better and stop making excuses for not taking on every opportunity. I think it's only now that we realise how quickly this has all gone by, and you look back at some of the opportunities that you had and you think, oh, I really should have gone for that, I shouldn't have made excuses that I'm too busy or whatever. Because there's always people out there that are going to be taking every opportunity and more. So we've got to be prepared to do that.
What do the next intake need to know about Chris, Blair, Ada and Mark?
Mentors, Chris, the king of copy. You have got to show him initiative. He won't just give you the answer. Work with him instead of asking him to give all the answers to you. Show him that you know what you're talking about and what you want to say, and work with him. Unless you buy him a couple of pints at the Black Dog, I think he loves Guinness. Work with him. Please don't think that he's gonna just write copy for you and that's about it. No, you have to work together with him to get the best results. And he's always happy to help, I'm sure.
So some stuff about Mark, Ada, Blair and Chris. Ada, first of all, she's been a sort of a mum figure to us all this year. She's the person to go to if you've got any worries about anything. She just seems to know the answer to everything and know how to deal with anything, and it's been really great this year.
Chris and Blair are a bit like a comedy double act. They'll always be around giggling about a pun or a cock gag, which is always really nice to be around. They're really interesting people. They have very interesting, varied careers, which is exciting to be around too. And they've got this plethora of knowledge and they get so excited about ideas, which is phenomenal. So yeah, cheers. And they're also fun to go down the pub with.
All the members of staff at SCA2 are very fucking chic, and it was a privilege to have worked with all of them.
They're a caring bunch. They always try and do what's best and usually are correct. They are very good at listening, and they are friends as well as teachers, and they are here because they want to be here. It's a completely different way of learning, and that's what I like about it.
Mark? Well, Mark is SCA, SCA is Mark. Mark has a big heart, he's a great guy, he's done so much for all of us at SCA and BUSK and Love Child. I owe him a lot, I love him, what can I say, I'm going to cry.
Mark always keeps you guessing. He sort of keeps a lot from you, so you never know what's going to happen. Throws a lot of surprises into the year, which is both infuriating and really exciting, and it's made the year more fun. Also seems to have a very wide and varied collection of shoes, which I noticed this year, almost as jazzy as his trousers.
What I most enjoyed was the reaction to people when pitching an idea. I loved the theatre of involved in presenting an idea to a client.
Oh, hello again. The best piece of work produced by BUSK. Probably quite conceited and a little bit arrogant for saying one of my own, but fuck it, White Bull Lager. It was for the Cannes Future Lions Awards. It started off as an idea, became this huge monster, put it out there on the internet, made a lot of ripples, put a few noses out of joint. People either love it or hate it. It's not really an ad, don't know what it is, it's a pseudo documentary parody, this tape thing. And yeah, I'm proud of it. Cheers.
Piece of work I think that has come out of BUSK, there's been so many things that I could mention and so much stuff which I'm jealous that I hadn't thought of, but one that stands out the most for me was Lewis's chip shop entry. It was for links, you have to have a look up online, but it was really good, just really nicely art directed, and I was a bit jealous of that one.
Apart from like all our stuff, obviously.
I can't find just one campaign that really inspired me, so I'm going to cheat and say lots all at the same time. So here we go: White Bull Army, Behave Dave, Moleskin, Starbucks, Music as the Artist Intended It, Hot Drugs, and with Real Style They'll Wait, Triumph, Madeline McCann's Box on eBay, Pyrenees, and animated AR posters. There are much more. There are loads more Trey Boom campaigns that I haven't mentioned, but you should not be concentrating on these, you should be concentrating on your own work. So get a crack on, and all the best. Au revoir.